This is the most stable version of mStock that you will have now. This is the speediest version of mStock you will have now. And I can confidently tell you that even with 10 million customers now, the app will be as nimble as if it's being used by only one user.
If you had to speak to the users who joined us, unfortunately had to leave our platform, come back and give mStock another chance,
I can reasonably assure you that the things that you found gaps in while you were with us have been corrected. And I think we are looking to give you that wow experience, whether you're trading or investing. The last 6-8 months, we've tried to ensure that focus is towards giving the customer experience. All I'm requesting everyone is that come try your mStock.
Hi Arun. We are going through a big day today. It's a big day for all of us here at mStock. And I thought let's have a candid chat with you. Let's give a glimpse of what's happening behind the scene within mStock. Can you just tell us about the journey and why is it so special today?
Thank you for having me here. You rightly mentioned it's a very special, very important day for us because this actually is a culmination of a lot of efforts which has been put across the teams. And I would also like to thank a lot of our customers who stayed with us, especially in this phase where they built the application with us. So बहुत ही अलग feeling है. You can equate it to a boy who's going to get his results for the first time. There's a lot of excitement because I personally believe we are building something very meaningful, whether it's in terms of the speed or stability or in the features. There's a lot of nervousness because end of the day the product has to speak for its capability. ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं आपको इंटरव्यू में बोलूँ और लास्ट में रिजल्ट्स डिलीवर ना हो पाए. And there's a lot of hope that with this we will be able to take care of all the feedback that we've got all this duration with our customers. And again, I am taking this opportunity to thank the customers who've sided by us for all these years. They've been patient, they wanted to see us grow, and I think we will deliver it.
Let's hope for the best. Arun, having been a part of mStock for so long, right from almost from the start, I've seen the journeys, the ups and downs. It's been rewarding as well as at times we had hiccups. Looking back at those early days, did you ever imagine that we will reach 23 lakh customers? Such an exponential rise we'll get in such a short period of time.
Yeah, to be very frank, I was confident that we'll grow. And the reasons were that I think we were very well placed, although we entered quite late, but I think we were very well placed. COVID का एक बहुत ही positive energy, in fact, ironically, a bad phase, but this industry saw a very positive side of COVID, was already there. People had made money. Because of this, a lot of people started looking at stock markets to be a credible source जहाँ पे पैसा कमाया जा सकता है.
Very true.
And it moved from the orientation of this to be a satta bazaar to practically this being an orientation where money can really be made. There was a lot of word of mouth. In fact, you will be surprised to know that within 4 years itself, the number of accounts actually multiplied many-fold. So there was acceptability. So when we were going to the market and talking about a product in broking, people wanted to listen versus earlier. And from our side, I think Mirae Asset was a respected brand. It was a recognized brand thanks to our AMC and the deliveries they've been able to give over the last so many years. And lastly, the proposition on which mStock was built was very transparent. हमारा ओरिएंटेशन हमेशा से ये था कि वी शुड बी एबल टू प्रैक्टिकली गिव अ वेरी ट्रांसपेरेंट प्राइसिंग मॉडल, अ वेरी ट्रांसपेरेंट एंड एस्पिरेशनल टेक्नोलॉजी टू आवर कस्टमर्स. And hence from the day one I was very confident. What surprised me was the time in which we grew so fast. So that was a surprising factor, but I don't think we had even an iota of doubt कि हम लोग कर पाएंगे नहीं कर पाएंगे. Because as I told you earlier, the entire concept of mStock was built out of customers.
Right.
It was not designed in a boardroom. We spoke to a lot of people. We tried to understand what do they really need. This concept of zero brokerage, so to say, when we launched, came out of a lot of interactions. That a lot of people actually felt that even though there was a discount that happened, still they were paying a huge amount in brokerage.
Right.
And that's what we clarified with a lot of people when we launched, and that was the feedback also that we got. So I largely was very confident.
So going after the pain point of the customer definitely helped. But still, the mind always questions what has gone behind, right? Like with that kind of scale, definitely there were tough moments. Anything that you can shed light on? What were those moments, and where did you think, okay, this is a challenging thing we have to overcome?
So, Supriya, to be very frank, मुझे personally ऐसा नहीं लगता है that the size was a problem. As I told you earlier, that I think the size gained in that short period of time somewhere became very challenging for us. See, when we launched, as I told you earlier, that we were confident that we'll build it up, but it happened too soon. When that happens as an organization, you come into that orientation of doubt, saying that there is a lot of customer demands which are coming in, उनको features चाहिए, उनको नए products चाहिए.
Right.
Do you go after that? Or do you now with this scale continuously upgrade technology? See, बाहर से जब आप देखते हैं तो ये evident answer है कि आप अपना core कैसे बिगाड़ सकते हैं.
Correct.
But when you are in the stock market where practically you're dealing with millions of transactions a day and roughly about say thousands of transactions every minute, it is not that simple to suddenly ensure that you take one stance and start building on it. Because you have live customers, आपको उनकी ज़रूरतों का ध्यान रखना बहुत ज़रूरी है.
Absolutely.
And at the same time, you have to also ensure that you provide them with a very safe, clean, feature-rich environment where they can do what they want from their trading investment perspective. So challenges आए. In fact, I want to be very open. आपको बताऊंगा बहुत बार ऐसा हुआ जहां हम customers के requirement पे पूरा नहीं उतर पाए. There were app crashes. There were complaints of app being slow. There were complaints of app not being steady. And of course, there were always requirements and suggestions of what we can build. So, as I told you, I think this was more of the time in which this was achieved rather than the size that we achieved. Because from an organization's perspective, we are a global organization. So, all these size issues have been encountered by us in multiple geographies. It was not new to India. But the growth was very, very fast. So, I think that is where the challenges came.
And out of all of those challenges, anything that particularly tested you as a leader?
See, I think within this, I got tested as a leader, and a good question. So it's not only so when you run an organization, there are two aspects to it. There is an inside-out view, and there is an outside-in view.
Right.
Outside-in view, we spoke of the customers. So typically, when customers associate yourself with such a big brand, Mirae Asset was a big name. They expect a certain kind of quality. They expect a certain kind of feature set or solution set that you're going to offer. So that was one thing that we were taking care of. And parallelly, even internally, when you start growing so fast, your employees also start having a lot of expectations, saying that, okay, we will go this way. But when you suddenly have a hiccup, so you start really realizing that it is not only your customers but also employees that you're supposed to take along.
Absolutely.
And that is a time, so end of the day, I am also an employee. I also get nervous, I also get scared. So there were times that even after all these feelings, I had to have a very constructive discussion with the team. I've had multiple discussions with the customers who wanted to reach out. So I think that was the biggest testing time. You were busy launching and building something. You wanted to get the people along internally. You wanted to have the trust of customers, and that is the time where this entire churn boils you out. तो वो बहुत डरावना समय था मेरे लिए individually as a leader.
As a leader, challenges तो समझ में आ गए, लेकिन business में भी बहुत challenges आते हैं, regulations change होते हैं, operational challenges आती है. I have seen personally, we all came together and we were wondering what's the next step, and that's when this very tough decision had to be taken, and it gave a turning point to our business, at least for our customers maybe. Why don't you talk about the elephant in the room, pricing change that we had to do last year?
See, I think more than a turning point, it became a negative point for the business. See, when, as I told you, when you start with a certain brand size, a lot of people trust you. And actually मैं रियलिटी में बोलूँ तो हम लोग एक्चुअली पैसे से ज़्यादा ट्रस्ट के बिजनेस में हैं. और जिस दिन वो ट्रस्ट टूटता है उस दिन बहुत सारी चीज़ें दे टेक अ बैक स्टेज. एंड आई थिंक दैट इज़ व्हाट द कस्टमर्स फेल्ट. आई हैव गॉट what you call comments on this directly through multiple mediums. I have tried to speak to customers directly on this, and many of them. See, let me tell you a story of why this happened and what was the reason because of this, which this actually had to be done. When we launched, we were zero brokerage. So we used to collect a one-time charge and we were completely zero. The reason why we adopted to such a model was, as I told you earlier, that we wanted to be absolutely transparent in terms of pricing. बहुत लोगों को ऐसे हमारे आने से पहले तक ऐसा लगता था कि यार मैं 20 रुपए पर ट्रेड ही तो देता हूँ या और वट एवर अमाउंट, बट देन व्हेन दे वर एबल टू शेयर सेव लैक्स एंड crores through us, they really realized how this model can change.
Yeah.
So what happens on the back side? बहुत सारे questions आए मुझे जब हमने लॉन्च किया कि यार आप जीरो ब्रोकरेज दे रहे हो, आप आगे कमाई कैसे करोगे? So people were concerned, and naturally so, because वो देखते हैं कि जब कंपनी कमाएगी नहीं तो वो अपनी टेक्नोलॉजी कैसे बिल्ड करेगी, लोग कैसे बिल्ड करेगी, प्रोडक्ट कैसे बिल्ड
सर्विस कैसे देंगे,
सर्विस कैसे देगी. So that was a question that people asked, but let me tell you, and I answered this before also, that we had a very clearly defined revenue model also. In a matter of 18 months, we were able to scale our MTF book.
Right.
That was giving us revenue. We had our own capital to deploy, and hence we had those margins, and hence we had those margin benefits. So while this was absolutely going absolutely fine for a period of more than 2 years, then regulation struck us on the wrong side.
Yeah.
And जैसे हमने एक बार पहले डिस्कस किया, आई थिंक हमारी थोड़ी महादशा खराब थी, where we launched and there were regulation after regulation. See, I am not saying that the regulations are wrong. They were absolutely right, because what regulations do is they get transparency. तो एक कस्टमर को पता होता है कि उसके बेनिफिट के लिए कोई रेगुलेटर खड़ा है, बहुत स्ट्रांगली खड़ा है.
Yeah.
But whenever the regulation comes in, there was a regulation which came in which was labeled as true to label. Where the transaction charge that a broker collects. So typically क्या होता है, जब भी आप transaction platform पे करते हैं तो broker एक charge collect करता है और वो आगे regulator को pass करता है.
Yeah.
But because broker की size, book की size बड़ी हो जाती है तो मेरे को उसमें margin मिलता है. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट प्ले था जब मैंने जीरो ब्रोकरेज लॉन्च किया. बट व्हेन दिस रेगुलेशन केम इन, एक्चुअली द टेबल कंप्लीटली टर्न. व्हाट हैपेंड वाज द रेगुलेटर टोल्ड अस दैट व्हाट यू आर कलेक्टिंग इज कैन नॉट बी मोर देन व्हाट द एक्सचेंज इज आस्किंग यू.
Exactly.
And hence that full income came to zero. Yeah, and that happened overnight. I practically lost more than 25% of my top line, which was practically more than my margin with only one regulation.
Yeah.
After that also we've seen regulations where we cannot collect money on the demat accounts and so on and so forth. So this is where the model actually started turning very difficult for me to operate. Yeah. Despite this, we tried to continue for a period of almost about 4-5 months where we tried to ensure that can there be another way that we find a solution to this. Only when we reached a conclusion that it can't happen. Okay, there are many regulators who've gone on record and spoken about increasing brokerage charges. There are many competitors who've done it. We had to take the step of charging ₹5 per order. But while I'm saying this, I also wanted to mention a couple of facts.
Yeah.
Number one, it is not only about the regulators. Clients regularly ask for features, which in my business we have to offer. That requires cost. Okay, we wanted to be a DIY platform, but when our customers said that you are giving us the savings in terms of brokerage, give us the features, we had to do that. Number two, more than 70% of the customers who paid for free brokerage, so we used to charge a 999 plus GST, more than 70% of the customers have actually saved more than what they've paid. Okay,
And much more.
And much more. At a macro level, you will be surprised to know that we've saved more than 650 crore worth of brokerage in this span where we were not charging. Okay, and that's a sizable thing that I forego at that point in time.
Yeah.
So we worked with the customer for a substantial saving.
Yeah.
Okay, only when we were not able to sustain the business because of regulatory changes, because of regular demand from customers in terms of bringing in features. Of course, customers बोलेंगे मुझे नहीं चाहिए at individual level, but at a macro level, these are tools which we are bringing in to ensure your investment journey or trading journey is one, transparent, second, stable, and third, you get the speed that you want.
Right.
Okay, is something that forced us to make these changes.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that is, I think, why the pricing got changed.
Yeah, I mean, you touched upon this, but backlash, I mean, we have seen, right? We changed the pricing in December, we informed the customers, and Jan onwards it changed. Being, on the forefront of managing communications and social media and so on, I've personally seen a lot of customers flagging it to us, writing to us, how come pricing has changed. I'm sure you at your level also have received a lot of such feedback, not just online, offline, wherever you meet people on multiple forums. How have you dealt with that kind of personal backlash? How has that, kind of...
See, I think... as I told you, and you're right that there are a lot of people who wrote to me.
Yeah.
A lot of people who called me talking about this, and the only way or the approach I had was to explain why this happened. Okay, and I think whether I'm fortunate or the explanation actually set right in terms of what they wanted to hear, they've been able to understand. They've been able to understand that why we had to move from 0 to 5. Okay, so that's primarily how I dealt with it. Spoke to a lot of customers, explained what the orientation was. क्यों करना पड़ा हमको ये?
Correct.
Okay, and इसके results say what changes in their life. That is how I dealt with it.
एंड आपको लगता है इससे कोई बड़ा लेसन है जो हम सब सीख सकते हैं, आप भी सीख सकते हैं? वो जो फेज था, द डिफिकल्ट फेज ऑफ द ट्रांजिशन ऑफ प्राइसिंग व्हिच इवन कंटिन्यूज राइट नाउ, बट विद द इवॉल्विंग प्लेटफॉर्म आई थिंक इट्स गोइंग डाउन as time is passing. But is there a particular lesson which you would take away from there, you would want your team to take away from this phase?
See, more than the pricing, Supriya, I think from this journey of now almost about 4 years of working for mStock, I think one lesson that I would want to give to anyone who's in the industry outside or running a business is that please never forget your core.
Yeah.
I think somewhere that the challenge that we spoke of, saying that when you are scaling, how do you tilt towards whether you fulfill the requirements or you look at how the regulations need to be fulfilled, or for example pricing change and so on and so forth. Never forget what the customer is here for. And actually that's what we've tried to do over the last 1.5 years, not only for the 3.0 launch that we are now doing, but if you look at the last 6-8 months, we've tried to ensure that stability, speed and focus is towards giving the customer experience. Okay, that's always been the case. So the core is to ensure that people get the service that they're paying for. That's what we've tried to focus, and that's what I would say, want to suggest to everyone.
Customer first, like we always believe in whatever we do, right? And that has been the philosophy of what we have been working on in the last 6-8 months. We've been rebuilding the app piece by piece, journey by journey. How has this entire journey of last 8 months of rebuilding the app been? Not just for you, for the team. You work very closely with the platform, product, digital marketing, everyone. And we are all guided by what you have envisioned for us. How has this been, and what has been the focus?
See, let me start with the last question. The focus was very clear. Focus was to ensure that whatever glitch we faced, not in terms of the technology, but in the gap that we saw with what the customer wanted versus what we delivered, has to be completely closed. That was the single focus that we had. Now, the journey has been very, very exciting. Of course, we went back to the drawing board. Actually, as a team, we reviewed thousands of emails that came to us, understanding where is the gap. Okay, when we are trying to build feature on feature, when we are trying to upgrade a technology regularly, still where is the gap? So that was one part of it. Second, we spoke to a lot of customers, understanding what do they really mean when they give us a feedback. Is there something that we're not able to understand? Okay. Third, of course, there was an orientation of a global play. We tried to get a lot of global customer experience, usage setups within this application. So it's a very exciting journey. There's a lot of hard work that has gone into this, and I'm super excited and thankful to a lot of customers who built it with us. Yet again, we've been getting regular feedbacks. We speak to a lot of customers. In fact, right now, for the last about 1.5 months, the application that you're talking about, whether it is the web or the app that we'll be launching, has been with a select set of customers in beta. We wanted to be 200% sure that we are not missing out on anything. Okay, and we wanted to really evaluate or judge that the kind of experience that we're talking about, is the customer today really getting it? So the app has been in beta for about 1.5 months, where we've been taking regular feedbacks, trying to make those corner changes to be as close to perfection as possible.
So far we've been talking inside out, right? Like you've been, of course, you took customer feedback, and we all work towards rebuilding this app. But tomorrow, if I tell you, don't think wear the mStock hat. You are a customer of mStock. You wake up and you see this new app. You come to the platform. What do you think the user can expect? Okay, with this new app, this will change,
So the word that comes to my mind is that that's what I wish, at least, is that wow. Finally they've done it. Because that's what people expect. In fact, just recently I was having a detailed conversation with the customer, and he was categorically telling me that आपके पास सारे ingredients हैं, आप कर क्यों नहीं पाते हो, वो छोटा सा gap है. That is what really stuck with me, saying that it's not much. We just have to ensure that we are able to fix those small things. That's one thing that I want customers to take on wow. And secondly, something that we've really worked on with multiple aspects from a technology standpoint is this is the most stable version of mStock that you will have now. This is the speediest version of mStock that you'll have now. Okay, within the guidelines of the regulators, we've tried to ensure that every click is checked, every API call backend is checked. The architecture is being made very nimble to ensure that we will be able to cater to millions of customers even in concurrency. Okay, so that's what we've done. So this does not mean that this exercise was not done when we launched or does not happen on a very regular basis. It happens, okay. But what we've tried to solve for now is the scale bit of it.
Right.
And I can confidently tell you that even with 10 million customers now, the app will be as nimble as if it's being used by only one user. So that's what I want my customers to think of, that this is something that we expected Mirae to deliver, and they've delivered it.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed for the users to use it, and we are hoping a lot of positive feedback to come. As a team, it will be a great boost to all of us. If you had to speak to, directly, heart to heart, to the users who joined us at the very start, and over a period of time they faced some challenges because we were also growing, we were also trying to improve, we were also trying to meet their expectations, who unfortunately had to leave our platform, go somewhere else for their regular trading, investing. If you had to speak to them, what would you say? Like, why should they come back and give mStock another chance?
See, firstly, let me tell you that when a user joins you as a customer, whether you're growing, whether you have challenges, none of their business.
Yeah.
Okay. And hence, I would firstly want to say sorry that we were not able to be the way you expected us to be. Okay. And I would also like to say thank you to a lot of users, along with the ones who've been inactive now, because they gave us the chance. We were a newcomer in the industry.
Right.
We only had a brand name and a proposition. Whatever we are because of them. And lastly, I want to tell them that I can reasonably assure you that the things that you found gaps in while you were with us have been corrected. And I think we are looking to give you that wow experience, whether you're trading or investing. And we'll continue to give it everything that we have. Again, apologies are not for the fact that we were not able to deliver. We delivered, but probably not at the expectation level of the customers. इस बार हमने हर वो चीज़ करने की कोशिश करी है जो हमसे customers ने मांगी है, या हमने वो gauge करने की कोशिश करी है जो customers को कभी भी ज़रूरत लग सकती है. So all I'm requesting everyone is that come try your mStock. We built it with you, and we miss you a lot, and we can't wait enough to see you back.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Arun, for taking out your valuable time and speaking to our viewers, giving a glimpse of what's happening behind the scene, and I hope users will enjoy this.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Yeah.
Investments in securities markets are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.